are listening to the MercTown Underground, produced by Merc Studios. And now your hosts, SLB and Merc.
Now I know probably no one listens to NASCAR besides me. When I say listen, I usually listen to it on the radio.
You pay attention to NASCAR more than football fans, basketball fans, hockey fans, baseball fans, golf fans, figure skating fans combined pay attention to their single sport alone.
I love statistics. That's another reason. I don't like the big drivers for the most part. I like the underdogs. I like a lot of the B-rate drivers. You know, they have like 10 wins in their career, kind of people like that.
Yeah.
There's something about it, and I'm not going to disagree that it's boring, because there's definitely times when they're just pacing laps. It's like, whatever, dude. It gets old. You really have to have a weird way of looking at it, and not everyone is capable of that.
What's that weird way?
Know. You got to look at it. You got to follow the whole field. You got to know all the drivers. You can't just like Junior. You know what I mean? And as I said, not only do you have to have a driver you like to get into, you also have to have a driver you hate. And there's a lot of stipulations to becoming a fan. And millennials, they have a shorter attention span. NASCAR's been lowering how many miles they run in a lot of races to try to keep up with that, make that race more interesting.
I mean,
I don't think any of it's going to work. The stands are quarter full on Sundays at some tracks. It's getting bad. It's getting too big for its britches. It's probably going to collapse like IndyCar. No one watches IndyCar anymore. Well, NHRA, their ratings went 4 times up ever since Fox picked them up, because ESPN really used to fuck them over. So as NASCAR is declining, NHRA is picking up, because that's an exciting fucking sport.
that's something where, and I've watched several NASCAR races, and again, I've watched it, and there's times where you can walk away for an hour, come back, and nothing has happened.
Oh, yeah. It definitely can be boring. And like I said, I listen to it on the radio. I don't watch it on TV. I don't have time to watch it on TV. If I do watch it on TV, so I get home at night, and I'm literally going to put it on 10 times most of the race. You know, I'll watch the lead changes. I would love for it to be like a half-an-hour program of, like, the race roundup, like, immediately after. I would watch that.
The big things, yeah.
But to listen on the radio is easy, because I can do it while I'm delivering China food, and there's no problem there. This week was, really interesting, because you had the driver I hate, Kyle Busch, get passed on the last lap by his teammate. He stuck a fender in him on the last turn and pushed him up the track. He didn't actually wreck him, but he bumped him. And Kyle Busch, being the biggest fucking pussy in NASCAR, they asked him, like, how do you feel about your teammate pushing out of the way? I had a really good car today. I want to thank Bainfield Pet Services for sponsoring my car. He gave this very generic answer that had nothing to do with the question. And they asked him something about how was the tire fall off today. Oh, the tire fall off was good. And they asked about the incident again, and he said the same exact thing word for word. I had a really good car today. I'd like to thank Bainfield Pet Hospital for sponsoring my car. He wouldn't fucking talk about it because he was so seethingly pissed off that his teammate gave him the bump and run on the last lap. Something he would have done in the same,
And he would have said,
He would have done second. He would have done the same thing. He's such a...
Who was his teammate?
Carl Edwards.
Okay.
I'm not a big Edwards fan, but I am a little bit more after that.
Rather him over Busch?
Oh, anytime.
Because I don't know racing. I know Jeff Gordon. I know Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Retired.
I know a bunch of the big names in the past 10 years. But the one I know specifically from you the most is Kyle Busch.
I can't stand. Well, he runs the trucks and he runs the. Xfinity.
He's the one who does the amateur races and wins them all.
Yeah, and he thinks he's hot shit for it. And Toyota is backing him up, and they had this commercial not too long ago. It's like, oh, Kyle is congratulations on being the 2016 Cup champion, or 2015, sorry. You better go to Toyota.com before he wins another race, because he wins in trucks, he wins in Xfinity, he wins in Cup. It's like, no one gives a fuck that he's winning in the rookie divisions. It's like Tom Brady going to play fucking the
Pee-wee football, yeah.
It's like, big fucking deal. He's in equipment that is equal to Cup equipment, or has the same Cup backing, because he's running for the same team in both all the series. It's not exciting. If you put him in a shitbox and make him work for it, I don't like him, but at least he's working for it.
He's not limiting him. They don't limit him.
It's a huge thing to talk about limits right now. They don't make points in the lower series. You pick your points for one series at the start of the year, and you obviously can't make points in any other divisions. When that happened, my favorite driver, he ran one season of the Xfinity, which is second tier. He won his championship. He never ran again. Carl Edwards, as soon as he couldn't get points in the lower divisions, because it's kind of pointless, he got out of it. So there's a lot of drivers, once you couldn't get points, got out of it. Busch was never one of them. There's a couple others. I like Kevin Harvick, but he needs to get out of it. Oh, they all do. They really all do. Like, if you're a rookie, I understand there should maybe a stipulation where you can run it for a year or two to get more experience. But these all-established Cup champions, they have no business to be in there. And I understand they like racing, but go race a series that's not going to be aired on television. I know that's,
Well, that's like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant playing in the fucking NCAA championships.
You know who's going to win.
Yeah, it's like, why?
I want to see these up-and-coming rookies win. Oh, it's really good experience for them to be racing with the rookies. No, it's not. I just watched him for about 10 seconds. You were kind of behind him, and then he pulled away and got a 20-second lead. You're not learning anything being 20 seconds behind him.
No, you're being a dick.
Not. Yeah, he's being a dick about it.
That's like you having this is like having your level 60 Blastoise, going back to Pallet Town, and destroying a couple level 2 Rattatas.
It's literally that.
Like, you get no experience.
And
you look like a dick.
Yeah. He actually had another one where he led almost the whole race, and it was actually in the Xfinity Series. Although another Cup driver did win, so it wasn't like a huge success. Because I don't want any Cup drivers in there. Like Junior actually won the Xfinity, the second tier, this weekend. And, a lot of people are like, oh, it's Junior, so no one's going to complain. And it's true, a lot of the Junior fans will kind of look at the other way. But I don't want him winning Xfinity either. I want to see the real fucking Xfinity drivers win these races. And there's a very good chance that the Xfinity champion won't win a race this year. Because the Cup drivers are winning them all. You're going to have a winless champion, which is pathetic. So NASCAR is talking about all these declines in viewership, in sponsorship, in how many people are going to the track, and they can't figure it out. Let's see. Toyota pretty much owns the sport. The Toyota teams have won, I think, all but 2 races this year.
No.
And they only have one team. Joe Gibbs Racing with the 4 Toyotas. They have a couple junk cars in the back, but it's basically only one team. They absolutely dominated the whole year. I think they've won 4 in a row right now, and they sponsored basically the Daytona 500, the rebuilding of the track. They had this Toyota ribbon kind of ceremony, and then I watched 7 Toyotas for the whole race follow each other single file until the last lap where they all broke apart and actually tried to win the race. So it's like, maybe the driver wasn't predetermined, but it seems like the freaking manufacturer was. There's a lot. It's getting really bad. It seems like Toyota's in NASCAR's pocket. You have Kyle Busch, who's dominating these little series, and every time anyone says anything, oh yeah, well Mark Martin used to run it back in the day. I know most of you don't know who the fuck half these people are. But yes, some of the Cup drivers in there, even to the early 90s, went and ran 5 to 10 Cup drivers, went and ran some Xfinity races, and they would win most of them, but it wasn't every fucking race. And back in the day, you used to actually have a lot of tracks in Xfinity and Truck that they didn't go to in Cup. There's actually unique tracks. Now there's 2 unique tracks a year that they go to, a couple road courses and 1 or 2 ovals. It's almost all of the same tracks in the same weekend. So they're making it easy for these drivers to do it. Back in the day, there's only, 5 or 10. They wouldn't run the same weekend at the same track. It's just getting bad, dude.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It's stupid. And as I was going to say, NASCAR it's repetitive, and you who've been watching it for years is saying it's just getting worse. But the one race I went to the fucking drag race, and I thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever.
Drag racing should be 10 times more popular than NASCAR. You have different divisions. You have speeds well in excess of what NASCAR runs. They're quick runs. Anything can happen. The best driver can get beat by the worst driver. There's so many variables that make drag racing so exciting. A 90-year-old guy, literally, guys 87, 88 years old, qualifies 16, number 1 qualifier, fastest car all weekend, all his qualifying runs. Just shakes the tires a little bit, car just loses its traction. That 16th qualified car, even though it doesn't make a fast run, doesn't shake the tires, runs kind of mediocre, he'll take number 1 out first round. Done. Goodbye. You're done for the weekend. NASCAR, There's 36 cars locked into the field. It's called a charter. This is something new this year. You could literally go out there with a car and push it around the track. Obviously, legally you can't push it, and the guy would still make the race. It's stupid. So they have this little security blanket for the big 36 cars, and then the other 4 are open. Granted, the car count, which NASCAR used to have a 43 car limit till this year, and they usually filled it. They reduced it to 40. I think the most they had was 44 at the Daytona 500, the most prestigious race where 80 cars used to show up for a 43 car field, which was 44. And since then, I think there's only been one car that got sent home. It was actually this weekend. It was 41. So they can't even get the fields. The viewership is just dropping drastically. And NASCAR is basically bought and paid for by Toyota right now. I mean, obviously, that's my opinion. But when they're winning every freaking race, it doesn't really make a bunch of rednecks happy when a Japanese manufacturer is dominating.
Which is ironic, isn't it?
But again, this is all opinion. It's just on a steady decline, though.
That's with a lot of things right now. That's with a lot of. I think a lot of sports are kind of feeling the same way. Again, as we all heard today, or this week, depending on when I post, it's probably Thursday. Which this is Thursday if you listen to it now. Tom Brady's suspension got reinstated.
I heard about that.
4-game suspension reinstated. Again, you can argue whether he did it or not. I think, and this is not coming from a Patriots fan, this is coming from somebody who has been paying attention to a lot of other people who watch football, people who don't like the Patriots and they think this is stupid. They think Roger Goodell is just a power-hungry fuck.
Did they find a judge that was willing to be paid off?
Probably.
Did he get a huge fine with that too, or was it just a 2-game suspension? I heard a little bit about
4-game suspension. They lost a first and a second-round pick.
That's fucking stupid.
So,
over something that happened how long ago?
2 seasons ago. I think they're just trying to, and Tom Brady put out this big statement today saying that, he's still getting blamed for something he didn't do. He talked about the phone, how his phone had broken. Look, people...
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are football players allowed to talk poorly of the NFL? If they do, does that result in a fine, more suspensions?
I think... I don't know. I think what... I feel like that probably would happen. Because if you look at their priorities, okay, Tom Brady, he supposedly, probably, and this is all what the paperwork has said, and people are going to say, he did it. Well, what is the actual evidence? What's the hard evidence?
Yeah, seriously.
And this goes with anything legal. I'm not really so focused on the fact that this is a football team. This goes all the way down the fucking road. This is the big problem. If everybody in this country who went to court got convicted for something that probably may have been thought about have happened, there's more people would be in jail. And for most people probably who are not guilty would be in jail for stupid shit. Yep. Or fined for stupid shit. And this is what it's coming down to. The final verdict from the appeals court, if I'm not mistaken, or from the Wells report, was that he probably knew it happened.
That's fucking bullshit. I'll tell you another thing, kind of going back to NASCAR a little bit. If you talk poorly about the sport, NASCAR will fine. So, there was a big thing about lug nuts lately, because there's usually 5 lugs on the car.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been putting 4 on to save that fraction of a second to get their driver out a little bit quicker, and sometimes late in the run even 3. Tony Stewart, who actually just came back after an ATV injury, sat out the first 8 races, came back, and he said, we need to, for safety, run 5 lugs all the time, period. NASCAR goes, you talk poorly about our sport, here's a $35,000 fine. You can't talk poorly about our sport. And that's a rule in NASCAR. So Tony Stewart he's part of the Drivers' Council, and because a lot of drivers are concerned about the health of the sport, actually formed a council, and the drivers said, we're all going to pay for the $35,000 equally. I think there's 10, 12 drivers, so they'll split that up equally. I don't know if Stewart's one of the 12, maybe, but even still, it would be $35,000. Granted, that's a drop in the bucket for them. But still, they're just kind of proving that even the drivers are concerned about the health.
It's going to lead into another big accident.
Yeah, you have that charter system where the top 36 are all locked in or whatever. What if a new manufacturer comes in? What if tomorrow Saab said, I don't know, is Saab even still in business? What pretend they are?
Yeah.
What if Saab says, hey, I want to make a 4-car team and come into NASCAR? They never have a locked-in car. They'll have to qualify for, as of now, for life, unless another one of those teams dropped off and they bought what's called that charter. So they're limiting their ability with this stupid charter thing. So obviously they're dropping the field size, all that other shit. And Kyle Busch, as much as I hate him, as we just talked about, he had an Xfinity race where he dominated the whole thing, blew a tire on the last lap, and got passed at the last second by another Cup driver. I know I mentioned that part too, but he declared that NASCAR was fixing the races and he was pissed off. Now, what he said was absolutely ignorant, but he just lost a race leading the whole fucking thing in his huge ego mind, and then blew a tire, and actually drove around the whole lap with a flat tire. His teammate passed him. The teammate ran out of gas. He retook the lead, and then right at the end, another guy came and won. He has every right to be pissed off, because that was a weird fucking finish. So, as much as I hate his guts, as much as I like seeing him lose, he should not have gotten fined for those comments, because he was pissed off. It was audio in the car when he was talking to his crew chief. It wasn't like he, got out of the car and was like, hey, NASCAR is rigging it. He was audio that he was talking to his crew chief or his crew while he was still in the car. You don't find someone for that. As much as I hate his guts. Although I don't think he showed up to the post-race media coverage because the top 5, because he still finished second with the flat tire. You still have to be there if you're in the top 5, and I think he didn't show up. So he should have been fined for that, but they never said the fine was for that. They fined him for his comments while in the car.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
It's stupid, they're just monitoring. It's probably just for more money. Probably at this point with the way the sport is going, as you said.
It might need a crash it might need to be a phoenix and die and be in ashes and
not the hoping people die, but we're saying
no, not the drivers themselves. No.
Well, not in jail. Something's going to have to give.
They need to lose all their major sponsorship and make it what it used to be again. Because all these billion-dollar teams, there used to be people that, like you and me could run a car shop. We'd be dead last, but we could be there. Now you got to have millions just to run around the back.
Just to look at it.
There used to be a country singer that used to run just as a hobby, and he never did anything with it, but you used to be able to go NASCAR racing, like real racing, on a semi-high budget, nothing, but not millions of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands, if that, yeah.
I mean, I think it's $1 million to basically run any one of those cars.
Well, unless you and me decide to make, somehow hit $1 million doing this, I don't see us racing anytime soon.
If I got $1 million, I'd be putting cars into the drag racing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I don't think.
And not only that, you have a sport that women are capable of winning. There's no race for diversity in drag racing because there never needed to be. Antron Brown, African American, he's the best top field dragster racer in the last 10 years. The guy is phenomenal. Brittany Force, John Force's daughter, already won, I think, back-to-back races this year in top field. She's amazing. There's never been that sex barrier. There's never been that race barrier in NHRA. No one. Shirley Muldowney was winning championships in the 80s as a female. Danica Patrick ain't gonna win a fucking race unless it's some weird freaking scenario. She's not gonna win it by skill. She could luck into it from some gas mileage.
No, the biggest hit she's gonna make is a wall.
Yeah,
that's it.
So it's just a better sport overall. I still love NASCAR. I own a billion diecasts.
Hopefully, within the next year, I can join him and go to a drag race again.
It's just.
It's
if you ever think you want to go to a NASCAR race and you've never gone, don't go. Go to an NHRA drag racing event.
And go with us.
Go with us. These cars are so loud they actually register on the Richter scale.
Yeah, and if you really want the real racing experience, you can go with his father and bring a rosary because you'll be praying all the way to and from. And we'll introduce you to our favorite game, the Rumble Strip game.
We'll talk about that on another day.
Yeah.
That was basically a 19-minute rant. I do apologize if you absolutely hate auto racing, but don't look at it as me talking about auto racing. Look at it as the failure of a business that it's so obvious why they're failing, and they're like, we don't know why we're failing. Look at it just as a business perspective.
Yeah. Let him fail and let something else come up that'll be even better.
Good.
Yeah.
There'll always be auto racing I'm watching.
But what I'm saying is kind of like the bailouts in 2008. Everything should have failed, so then something better could have come out of the ashes. We'd probably be in a way better place now. Personal opinion.
More manufacturers,
better manufacturers, better cars, technology probably move forward.
So, between all my NASCAR racing, I've been, as I mentioned earlier, watching a lot of YouTube. A lot of just clips. The Jimmy Kimmel, how do they call it, like the hate clips or the angry clips, where celebrities read angry tweets.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
On his show, and it was just, I've been watching like compilations of that.
I find Jimmy Kimmel to be the best, personally. Him and Fallon, I actually really like Fallon.
No,
but
they're not bad.
I prefer Jimmy Kimmel when it comes to night shows.
But I love watching on YouTube like clips of those. Like I showed you before, the Axl Rose relaxation tapes.
Yeah,
those are funny. But the angry tweets or whatever, it's amazing what people say. Like, I understand the celebrities are on a little bit more of a budget than we are. Obviously, they have the fame. But they're still human beings, besides the fact they're in multi-million-dollar movies. They're regular people, and people just say these nasty things. I guess it's for attention, but like, there's so many of them. It's just like, why? I don't get it. Like, I understand if you don't like them, you can say you don't like them. I'm not a big fan of some actors, but I don't go tweeting them like, "Oh, you're a fucking scumbag."
What did we say last year during when we started the Merc conspiracy? Even bad publicity is still publicity.
But
See,
it's not their publicity.
No, but you're like still giving them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, they're all laughing it off. I don't think any of them took these tweets to heart. You know, Brad Paisley's. Someone was talking with Brad Paisley. Like, he was reading. He's like, I try to listen to your music, but then I realize I don't fuck my sister. Just stuff like that. It's like, what are you getting from posting that on his page? Like, I'm not a huge Brad Paisley fan, but he's not affected by it. I'm not affected by it. No one's affected by it.
You just look like a dick.
You look like a attention-wanting dick. And I just don't get it. I know it's kind of a really basic thing to say, but...
Do you have any other examples?
Oh, boy. Was it Groban? Josh Groban?
Josh Groban?
It's like, I don't know if I should listen to Josh Groban or take a ladle and ladle shit in my ears. Like, something on the lines of that. Like... I don't like Josh Groban's music, but the dude's making a living. What are you doing while you're sending a hateful tweet to him? Yeah, his music probably is sucked. I don't know if I've ever actually heard it. I probably haven't, didn't realize type of deal.
Yeah.
But I know it's kind of for females.
I mean, some guy, he's not a country singer, is he? No. I think he does, I don't want to say operatic stuff, but he does that really kind of stuff like that.
Some of them are a little funny, like actually Bill Murray is one of them. It's like, I hate Bill Murray. I'm so glad he got shot in Zombieland. Stuff like that. It's like...
I don't know. I don't think Bill Murray's the kind of guy I'd want to say stuff to, because I feel like he'd have the best comebacks.
He was just laughing about it. He couldn't even take it seriously.
Is that something he does on his show regularly? Like, reads hate tweets?
There's a million of them.
Oh my gosh.
You could literally watch hours of them.
I bet you the people like you and me would just, okay, this person's going to be on. Let's make some hate tweets.
They even had an Obama one, and I'm not a big Obama fan, but some of the shit that people tweeted him, it's like, fucking really?
Oh, was that when he was on the show?
Yeah.
Oh
He did like 4 or 5 of them. One of them was like, he actually tweeted Obama. It was like, I just went to the 7-Eleven, and a 30-pack of Natty Ice was $23.99. Thanks, Obama. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I mean, well, Natty Ice, that's a...
It doesn't seem like you're making that smarter decisions either.
Yeah, I mean, you don't look great if you're buying Natty Ice.
I don't like Obama that much, but if I had a vote between Obama and the guy that's buying Natty Ice, I'm probably going to vote for Obama.
At least Obama's going to have a better choice in beer than you do, buddy. At least I hope so.
Yeah.
But no, actually, you talk about YouTube. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of stuff on YouTube. There seems to be more entertaining content than TV.
Yeah, it's quick, it's easy, the ads can get annoying,
But one thing which really got me into starting the podcast again, my buddy Jack, he's part of BingeMedia.net. They were a couple of guys who used to be on Movie Blowjo or something like that. I forgot the name of the website. If it comes to me, I'll mention it again sometime later on. But they left and they started this website called Binge Media. My buddy Jack, he somehow became a part of it because he's a big movie buff. He loves media, entertainment, specifically movies. And I really want to hear his review on Batman vs. Superman. So I listened to his review and I'm like, okay. So I started dabbling in a couple other things of theirs. So I joined their Facebook page and I started following them a little bit. Really, they're entertaining. They bring up stuff that I've never seen before, never watched, never listened to. And it's good to add on, especially when I feel like I'm in a rut these days. So on their page, some guy started this account. Nobody has an idea who it is, but he started this account called Sassquatch, Sassquatch. The guy looks like he's trolling. But he's very polite. He's never rude. He's just very polite. So my buddy Jack, he's known as Jack Valley on the show, on that website, and he doesn't have a good vibe about this. So what did he do? He started his own podcast, and I've listened to all 3 so far. The 4th one I think comes out on Friday. It's called Making a Sassquatch. And it's kind of set up like a serial, almost like a radio serial from like the 30s. But it's him and his, he'll have guests on every week, and they talk about who this fucking cocksucker is. He goes, I don't fucking trust him. 1 minute he's like, thank you for the tweet. We should go to the movie sometime. Next thing you know, we're in a fucking concentration camp being run by fucking like Nazis, and it's just a little bit of it's outrageous. But it's brilliant. And I don't know if he's doing this to troll people. I don't know if they're trying to bring new viewers in. I don't know if it's the website trying to fuck with him. I don't know if it's just a user. But he's trying to figure out who this guy is. And he actually has a list of... He calls them Sasspecs. It sounds stupid. I thought it was... I'm like, okay, this kind of looks dumb. I thought he was like reviewing a TV show. Because I thought there was something that came out recently about... Bigfoot and such. Like a documentary maybe somewhere. But he's just sitting there every fucking episode. And he has a list of Sasspecs and he goes through them and he goes, yeah, again, as on the top of my list, is obviously Sneaky Juan Carlos. Why? Because he's so fucking sneaky. It's, people go on the list, people leave the list, but they can end up back on. It's just, he really is sitting down. Who could this be? He has all these little things. There's a lot of personal information he doesn't talk about, people's personal lives unless they come on and say something.
I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, I'm gonna post all 3 of them on. I think it's just great. I would advise anybody who would wanna just throw it on and listen to it. I lost my shit because it's the people on are laughing, but they literally are serious about this. One guy sat there and made anagrams from people's names on the website that would compare to...
Oh my god.
And mind you, some of these people that work on this website, one of them's like a producer at 20th Century Fox. Like, you've got some really, really big names on here that he's working with. And they just dick around, and it's called Making a Sassquatch. I would definitely advise it. I'm going to post it.
The wonders of YouTube. And not only do you have, like, stuff that's, like, semi-intelligent, you also have stuff that's just so stupid you can't help but watch. Like, How to Basic.
Oh my, How to Basic. If you haven't seen How to Basic, you're doing something wrong with your life. I've never seen a video so stupid, but so entertaining. Like, this beats Beavis and Butthead in the stupid, entertaining realm.
Like, Smosh, they can be funny. They have a lot of subscribers. They were #1 for subscribers until PewDiePie took over.
Yeah.
That I don't get as much. Like, the watching people play online, or on just gaming, I guess, in general.
South Park.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Again, South Park references.
South Park references. Kind of late in this one, but no, there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube. And it's relatively free if you have internet. I mean, you get a lot of the ads.
Yeah, this, How to Basic, as I said, Binge Media, I'm gonna definitely, I keep saying I'm gonna post links, and I never get to it. I'm definitely gonna post some of these links.
Next week, we should probably do our top 5 like YouTube channels or something like that.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough. There's a lot out there. Going from YouTube to movies quickly. So a couple of minor things, minor mentions. Well, obviously in a couple weeks we'll be going to see Civil War, Captain America.
Very excited for it.
Excited for that. There was a smaller movie coming out. I totally blanked. Don't remember what it was.
The Lucky Guys.
The Nice Guys.
Nice Guys.
I do want to see that. Ryan Gosling and
I really
Russell
wanna see
Crowe.
that.
That's another. I don't know if I told you this last week or there's somebody else, but there seems to be a big influx of movies based in the 70s with that kind of feel. Because it's coming out, American Hustle, if you saw that, with Christian Bale, which I actually liked. Very slow, but I really liked. A couple years ago, it was with Joaquin Phoenix. Oh, what the hell was the name of it? Same thing, it was like a mystery. It took place in the late 60s, early 70s.
I don't know if I saw that one.
I'll throw Black Mass in there because that took place. So there seems to be a big influx of that time period and that kind of movie feel, which is great. That was something I loved when I was growing up. The 70s I was obsessed with. But The Nice Guys, I know you said you don't want to see it. I'm going to see X-Men Apocalypse when that comes out.
I know we've mentioned this before.
I definitely want to read the graphic novels beforehand, but that's another story.
I just don't know. As I said before, I just don't know what it is about that movie, but nothing looks appealing at all.
I mean, they just released the third trailer. In this third trailer, towards the end of it, they're in some base, and they're like, Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique comes up, I think, goes, yeah, how'd it go? It's like, well, we had some help. And you just see this guy walk by, throws his fist down, the claws come out, and you're like, okay, Wolverine's in the fucking movie. Which I know everyone's kind of been waiting for. I think more people are excited for Wolverine than Spider-Man. Not that I have no problem with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Only on Disney Channel. So we're going to see a couple movies. Just recently released this week was the Magnificent Seven trailer, which I'm really excited for. It stars Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington? I think, yeah.
I think that's what it was, yeah.
It's a great cast. It's obviously a remake of the Magnificent Seven, which is actually an American adaptation of an old Japanese film called Seven Samurai. That's a personal favorite of mine.
Oh, wow.
If you have the attention span to watch a 3.5-hour Japanese film from 1954, I would advise it. I love that fucking movie.
I would eat a lot of Adderall.
Adderall, or you can definitely break it up. But I'm excited again. Chris Pratt's in it. Chris Pratt is like, he can't do anything wrong right now.
I just saw the preview today. I'm definitely going to see it.
We'll be going to see that. It's not a lot of westerns have been really hitting my radar, but this one has. This one fucking has.
I like westerns.
Obviously, in the superhero realm, when movies come out, that's pretty much all we're talking about these days. So the movie Inhumans, it's a group of mutants in the Marvel world that live on the fucking moon. They're actually the main characters of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC. Their movie has been dropped from the lineup for 2019, which upsets me.
Does it mean it's canceled completely?
No, they said they weren't canceling it. But I think they're getting ready to form Phase 4. They're trying to figure out what's going to be part of Phase 4. Because they announced Phases 1, 2, and 3 almost together, and they haven't mentioned anything. We're 4 years out from 2019. They have 3 untitled movies planned for 2020. Nothing else. It's 4 years till 2020. We have no idea what's coming out from Marvel. So I think they're really trying to plan Phases 4 and 5.
It's pretty much going to be something every 3 months. That's basically what it is.
Which is fine. I mean,
that's great.
Before you had to, what was it, Iron Man? And then how many more years till Hulk came out? Was that the same? That might have been the same year. And then you had to wait almost another year or 2 years for something else to come out.
They're definitely coming out faster.
Yeah, they're definitely coming out faster. On top of it, with DC currently in production of Justice League, which I want to see, and Wonder Woman, which is Gal Gadot, yeah, all day.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah. And then talking about DC, Green Lantern, it was rumored that all three Green Lanterns are going to be starring in the Green Lantern Corps movie in 2020, which is another thing that's kind of exciting for me. I've always liked the Green Lantern. Oh, Nathan Fillion, who was in Firefly, who was in Castle.
Shows I haven't watched.
He's in like everything, like anything nerdy. You probably know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't know either of those shows. I know they're popular. I know Firefly Season 2 is like a running joke.
I forgot what else Nathan Fillion was in, but he's just been announced for Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I saw that post, I didn't read it.
Yeah, so he's been announced for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Again, that's a movie we'll be seeing opening fucking night.
Absolutely.
Because that first one's still phenomenal.
Hey, Sam, fuck you.
Fuck you.
So, we have learned that it's good to say fuck you to people. And now that we're getting near the end of the show, gotta let off some steam. And we found out that Sam Adams agrees with us.
Yeah, recently Sam Adams, they just issued a video, today, recently in the past week.
I don't know what was issued. I saw it on Facebook, and I had to mention it.
So the owner, Jim Koch, president, owner, I think that's his name, Jim Koch.
Boston Beer Company.
Boston Beer Company. There was a disgruntled employee he saw, and he didn't... He was seemed disgruntled, he just wanted him to let some steam off.
He wanted him to say fuck you to him.
Yeah, he just wanted to kind of... The end game of this whole thing was he wanted to get some tension that's out, something that's bothering somebody, so the conflict can come into view, and any situation can be resolved in anything.
So apparently this guy never actually said fuck you, but he did say something like lick my ass. He's like, good, now we can talk about this. He's like, now you have to listen to the other side of the story and talk and resolve the issue, but it's okay to say fuck you even to me.
Which is great. That's coming from a beer company that's been around for 35 years at least. I don't know how long Sam Adams has been around. It's not that old compared to other companies. But for them to go, yeah, we want our employees to say fuck you to us to resolve issues.
Even in their commercials, they make it look like it's not a bad place to work. Like, oh, you got to go brew beer at your house as part of the training and all this other stuff. It looks like it might actually be an okay place to work. I mean, obviously you got to put work in. Some millennials don't like that no matter what. But for people our age, it might be a good place.
Do we get to try it?
Yeah, you get to make your own beer. You obviously drink it. I don't know about their policy on ours. They might have, a little bit of leniency. We don't want to end up like Peter Griffin when he worked at Patriot Pro Company or whatever it was.
Yeah. But I think that's a good policy. Maybe we should just do things out like that from now on with everybody.
In a world where everyone gets so offended about everything.
Which is another thing. That's good that they're doing that.
And, this one's more of a media-based podcast, but we wanted to at least mention that because we thought it was really funny.
So if you have a problem with us, comment on our videos. Fuck you.
But tell us why.
Yes.
That's part of it.
So we're done for now. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to get our stuff on SoundCloud because I know for a lot of people it's easier to listen on SoundCloud. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'm the SLB.
I'm Merc.
Take care.